limit screen time on an iPad? This is a big question that us parents have to deal with a lot nowadays on a daily basis. If you want to see how to limit your kids' iPad use, keep watching. Welcome back to my channel. Anybody who's new to my channel, my name is Saima Qureshi, and I help busy moms find time for themselves so that they can squeeze in time for things like skincare. Before I get into the video, I want you to like this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I come out with a new video, and also hit the subscribe button. That way you'll always know when I come out with a new video. Also, make sure and check out my free 11-minute video on 5 ways on how to take care of your skin as a busy mom. I know time is valuable for you, and that's why I've made it very easy for you to follow these routine steps, and you'll have a healthy glow on your face, you'll have reduced acne scars, you'll have less dryness, you'll have less dullness on your skin, and it'll just be softer and smoother. So make sure you check out the link below, SaimaQureshi.net. It's my full name, .net. Anyway, moving on to the video. Are you guys having a hard time limiting your child's screen time? I mean, we're not dealing with things like in the 80s and 90s. You're talking, you have a television, then you have the iPad, you have the iPhone, you have Android phone, you have smartphones in general, you have so many different type of electronic devices. You have video games. I mean, there's so many options out there that we just didn't have growing up. And now all our kids have that growing up, which is fine, but you really have to limit how much they're using these things because they're going to be totally disconnected from the real world otherwise. Pediatricians recommend no screen time for the age 2 and under, so they should be getting no screen time. Kids from ages 2 to 5 can get like about an hour a day. I used to be told half an hour a day, but they recently, I think they increased it to about an hour a day. And then 5 and up, I've been told my son, who's 5.5, he should only be watching about 2 hours a day as well. There are many reasons to limit your child's screen time. It can cause headaches. It causes them to be cranky and irritated. It can also weaken their eyesight and definitely reduce their attention span. So if you can limit it, that would be great. I definitely believe, especially in my own experience with my son, when he would watch all day, he would just get more cranky. He would start crying more. And he would just not pay attention to anything that you would tell him. Like, I would bark orders at him, and he would just act like you never said anything. I'd have to say it like 10 times before he would actually do what he is told to do. And a lot of that is actually because of the iPad. So I actually ended up reducing it. And I'm going to tell you guys how you can do that too. I'm going to give you guys some suggestions on how you can limit your child's screen time so that way they can be more focused on things in real life that they actually need to be focused on, and they're going to be less irritable, less cranky, and smarter, hopefully. The first thing is, it starts with you. You should be limiting how much you sit on your phone all day. We all have a habit of sitting there, and in any spare second that we have, we just pull out our phones and we start going through it. It's fine to do that, but you also want to make sure you are spending time with your kids, quality time. So you should really limit how much you're doing that, or set aside certain times in the day that you sit there with your phone. So the less attention you give to your phone, the less attention your child will be on their device. So that's something that I've really noticed, that when I leave my phone somewhere and just let it be, then I can spend time with my kids and they're less interested in their own devices. Another suggestion that I have is that you hide the iPad and only take it out when you're ready to, meaning that they should wake up in the morning and do your chores that you want them to do. You want them to get ready, have breakfast, pick up their toys, whatever chores that you have set for them, which is something that I've mentioned in my DIY chore charts, and that you can check out right over here. But basically have them do your chores first, and then you can reward them with the iPad. That way they're not just hung up on the iPad first thing when they wake up, and it buys you a little time that they're doing other things besides just sitting there watching TV or the iPad all day. Another bad habit that a lot of parents have, and I'm guilty of the same thing, is to not eat and watch TV or screen time while you're doing that, because when you're not having dinner or lunch as a family, then you're not communicating with each other, and then they're just fixated on their iPad or whatever, and it only adds to that. So they're not really interested in eating, so you'll find that they may become a little picky in eating, or they may be those mindless eaters that end up just eating, while they're watching. But the end result is going to be that they're always going to associate their eating with their devices. But this takes out like half an hour, 40 minutes that you can have of no screen time, while if they just sit there and just eat without having things going on in front of them. Another thing that I love, this is one app that I just love to use. It's called Ourpact. It's Ourpact. And it's a free app. That's the part that I like about it. There are a lot of apps out there that you can use, but they're mostly paid. And this one has a premium version, but it is offered free, at least those basic things that you can do, which is you can limit the time that the kids can watch the iPad. You can set a bedtime where it automatically shuts off. Or you can just from your device full on turn it off. Like if my son sometimes is acting up and I want to turn the iPad off that he's watching, or he's not listening to me, then I'll just grab my phone and I'll just turn it off. And then he has no choice but to listen to me and do what I'm telling him to do. Or give up the iPad altogether. That is my favorite app that I suggest that you start using, called Ourpact. Another suggestion that I have is you can give your child an iPad, but set the timer for how long they get it for. Like you can tell Alexa or whatever timer that you have on your phone or wherever, just set a timer. When that timer goes off, they're supposed to give it back to you. And they should know, if you do that consistently, then they're gonna hear it and they'll know to give it back to you. And then the final suggestion that I have is that teach your kids how to self-entertain. We cannot be constantly entertaining our kids. So they should know how to play with their toys. They should know how to find things to do, to keep themselves busy besides electronic devices. So that's something that I really recommend, that you just teach your kids how to self-entertain. Get them active in like painting, these type of activities, so they're focused on things like that, Play-Doh, stuff like that they'll really enjoy. And anyway, that's what I have for you today. Make sure you check out my free 11-minute video on skincare for busy moms. Also like, subscribe, and share to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.